Hello, I'm Lord Snark and this is How to Fix, where I look at anime that failed to live up to their potential and how they could have been better. Today's topic is a show that I'm fairly sure I'm going to get some backlash for criticising, Kyoukai No Kanata. This was a fairly big hit when it aired, and while it did receive some well-deserved criticism, I'm well aware that it has fans. So if you're one of those people, I'd like to point out that I'm not saying that you're wrong for liking it, I just disagree. Now that that's out of the way, I'll drop the spoiler warning and get on with it. I'm going to show part of the opening scene of Kyoukai No Kanata because it pretty much sums up what's wrong with the show.
新入生の紺のリボンが春風に揺れている。明らかに後者のタイプだった僕が、この時はなぜか前者を選択した。どんな言葉を用いたかは割愛するが、とにかくあなたのようにメガネの似合う人が死んではいけないという旨をひたすら純粋に伝えた。そして最後にありったけの思いを込めて僕は叫んだ。要するにメガネが大好きです。
We have some nice atmosphere building up and an interesting situation, and it's pretty much completely ruined by forced humour that doesn't gel with the rest of the scene. Which brings us to our first and most major problem. Problem number 1. The tone is all over the place. It's no secret that the studio behind Kyoukai No Kanata, Kyoto Animation aka KyoAni, specialise in cute girls doing cute things slice of life shows. They have done shows that don't fit into that category, with great success I might add, but that genre is definitely their preferred one. Unfortunately, it seems that they've now gone so deep down the moe blob rabbit hole that they don't know how to do anything else. Kyoukai no Kanata is attempting to be a dark fantasy tale with legitimate stakes, but it's hampered by the fact that this is how our main characters spend half their time.
そこの変態二人、ここを物質としての狼藉かしら。
美月、ついにメガネの素晴らしさに目覚めたんだな。
そこの変態兄貴にダメージを与えたかっただけよ。
メガネ様になんてことを。
Far too much time is spent running each character's single joke into the ground. That Aki sure does love his glasses. Mirai said something was unpleasant. Hirumi wants to bang his sister, and so on. These scenes clash horribly with the more serious moments, and it results in the series feeling like two different shows crudely pasted together. So much time is wasted piss-farting around that most of the characters hardly get any development, and as a result the audience has no reason to care about what happens to any of them. Problem number 2. There's so much sequel baiting it borders on ridiculous. By the end of the series, so many unanswered questions and unresolved plot elements have built up that the audience is left feeling more frustrated than anything else. What's the real story of Aki and his mother? Wait until the second season. What's with the old man living under the Nasie's house? Wait until the second season. What the hell's going on with Izumi? Wait until the second season. By the end of the series, we still don't even know what the villain's motivation was. We're left to assume that he was bored and felt like doing some evil. Maybe he stubbed his toe and decided to take it out on the world. Speaking of a lack of resolution, problem number 3. The terrible, terrible ending. Instead of a somewhat ballsy and bittersweet ending with Mirai dead, she instead comes back to life out of nowhere. I don't even need to go into what's wrong here. Jesus Christ. Problem number 4. Sakura. Sakura as a character adds nothing and only serves to bog things down, particularly after she decides that she really doesn't feel like killing Mirai anymore. It didn't surprise me even a little bit when I found out that she isn't in the original light novels. Problem number 5. The fight choreography is borderline non-existent. Most of the fight scenes in this show boil down to a character swinging their weapon around in a way that looks cool but gives no indication that they're even paying attention to what they're doing. Those scenes are very prettily animated, but that's all they are. So, how to fix Kyoukai no Kanata? As with last time, I'll address each problem individually, but they all fall under the same larger fix. Either remove or significantly reduce the comedy elements and focus more on the serious aspects of the show. Some shows manage to balance the two, a notable example being Noragami, which in my opinion walked the line between comedy and dark fantasy perfectly. This one is simple, cut down the amount of open ends. Leave out stuff like Izumi having a Yomu inside of her, which contributed nothing to the series, and leave it until the start of the theoretical season 2. Some lingering questions are fine, just don't get carried away. Linking back to problem 2, just cut the last part of the episode out. End the show with Mirai still dead and Aki having to live with that, or at the very least, cut away as soon as Aki reaches the rooftops that what he finds up there, if anything, is up to the audience. Again, just cut her all together. She's a totally unnecessary addition. She adds nothing. Nothing. Someone who actually knows what choreography is should have handled the fight scenes. Pretty animation alone isn't enough to carry that aspect of the show. To be blunt, there's a very simple answer to how to fix Kyoukai no Kanata. Give it to almost anyone who isn't KyoAni. Now, before accusations start rolling in, I don't hate KyoAni. I think that they've produced some spectacularly good work in the past, but Kyoukai no Kanata and indeed much of their recent work points to a serious decline in the studio's abilities. KyoAni seem to have lost the ability to write a good story. The last work of theirs that I would call well written was the first season of Chuni, which ended a year and a half ago. Everything they've done since then has ranged from mediocre to terrible in the writing department. KyoAni seem to have come to represent style over substance, and Kyoukai no Kanata suffered immensely for it. I shudder to think what the Haruhi Suzumiya series would look like if it were made by today's KyoAni. Kyoukai no Kanata would need to be completely reworked by a completely different set of writers who aren't set on shoehorning in elements of K-On! Into a dark fantasy. In its current form, Kyoukai no Kanata can best be described as an inconsistent mess. I can only hope that KyoAni can reverse the worrying direction they've been heading in before it's too late. I've done 3 negative videos in a row now. Maybe it's time for me to look at something I actually like. Maybe even something by KyoAni. Thank you for watching.